What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here. What's going on? It is Friday. I can't scream, y'all. I was trying to scream. I couldn't really scream. I hope everybody is doing okay. It's Friday. We are down here. I wanted to talk about New Jersey, but there's so much stuff going on in the news, so I'm trying to figure out when we're going to talk about the stuff going on. There's more stuff going on with T.I. and Tiny. There's stuff going on with Nicki Minaj. I was like, when I read that article, I was like, girl, no, you are not doing that. Are you really doing it? I guess we just going to talk about Nicki Minaj and them and T.I. and them. We might as well, because it's almost the same theme going on. People using their power and money to silence people, to harm people, to, intimidate people. It's like, I read that article about Nicki Minaj last night, baby. Let me tell it's in the Daily Beast. The title, the headline, okay? Let me tell you what the headline is. Ooh. My lips look like, ooh, girl. I didn't realize I had so much lip gloss on. How come y'all didn't tell me? That lips was looking like I ate a pork chop sandwich, baby. Let me tell you something. I just put a little on. It was like a lot. You know what I did afterwards? I put the lip gloss on and then I put some Carmex. And so it was just sliding across the lip gloss. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so the headline says, Nicki Minaj and husband Kenneth Petty's campaign to silence his assault victim. Jennifer, who Nicki Minaj's husband attempted to when she was a teen, opens up about the harassment and threats she received from their camp in order to get her to recant. Nicki Minaj, you going out like a sucker. Like, that's what I said on Twitter this morning. Like, girl, based on where I am and the level of nigga that I chose to have babies with and the level that you are and the access to wealth and the pool of men you have access to, and you went out and got a nigga worse than me. Like, girl, like, there's something to be said about that. Like, it's just like, and then I don't know what it is with Nicki Minaj. I hope somebody does like a story about her, because it seems like that she has a lot of men around her who harm women and children. Like her brother, we already know the story about her brother. Then she married this man who was, we already know his story. And then she did a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who we already know his history with abuse and assault. So I'm like, why do you keep surrounding yourself with these men? So, hold on. I don't want to listen to this at all, child. I don't know what my son put on here. Honey, I'll listen to Lady Gaga one more again. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Oh, Drake came out today, too. That's cute or whatever. I don't know what kind of emotionally manipulative music he's going to put out. Let's see. I do not feel like listening to Lucky Day. Honey, I will listen to Lady Gaga in a heartbeat. Okay. So the article says that you better get from behind my car, man. Don't think I didn't see you, brother. I see you, brother. Look, he know. I hope he know he's on camera. How you doing? How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Black people. Why do we always ask each other how you doing? We don't say hi. We just be like, how you doing? I'm all right. How you? That's what we do, right? All right. So Kenneth Petty. I don't know what's wrong with Nicki Minaj. I'm so disappointed. Like, y'all know, if y'all been on this channel for any time, y'all know I give Nicki Minaj the blues. Sometimes I give her the blues. Usually I give her props. I will give Nicki her props when it comes to like rapping and stuff like that. But some of her decisions as it relates to, relationships and stuff like that, I just don't I'm not here for it. And it's none of my business, but we here to talk about stuff going on, right? So apparently Nicki Minaj on her Queen Radio said, when you're somebody's wife, you gotta be even more prayed up, because you've got to cover your husband in prayer. It makes me sick how women will all of a sudden get married to the most undeserving man and then try to follow all these rules of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that you want to do in a marriage, I'm all for it, right? You do what your role is, or the role that you guys have agreed will be the role. Not necessarily gender roles, but your role in the marriage. I'm all for that. Figuring out where your strengths and weaknesses are and all of that shit, right? But when you partner with a man who is undeserving of any of those things, and then you start trying to model your life after that, I gotta stay prayed up, I gotta cover my husband in prayer. No, you gotta make sure he goes down to the damn sexual offender registry and get registered so they don't put his ass back in jail. That's what you need to make sure he does. That's the kind of job and the role that you've taken on, is to partner with somebody who the state owns. And then, like I said, I've done it. Like, when I'm talking to people, when I say on my level, like, I don't have the wealth right now, I don't have the access to the pool of men, and to me, I feel like the pool of men, like, you had access. Like, I think about that with Lori Harvey when she got with Future. Do you realize who you are, and to realize the men you have access to? And these are the men that are still available to women who have otherwise access to a different, entirely different pool of men, right? And you go pick Future, and then you pick Future after you see how he treats the women that he's with. Like, that's the shit that like, y'all don't read the Yelp reviews. Y'all don't read the Yelp reviews. The rapper was responding to criticism she received from marrying convicted sex offender Kenneth Zoo Petty. Minaj went on to claim that Petty had been wrongfully accused of attempted at the age of 15, and that his victim had actually written a letter to the judge back then in 1995 asking to recant her statement, only to reverse the course after she found out he would go to jail for 90 days. But white is right, Minaj says. But Petty's victim has come forward using only her first name, Jennifer, is not white. Her mother is white, her father is black. Biracial. Both she and Petty were 16 years old at the time of the assault, which she reported immediately. She says she never submitted a letter recanting, but alleges that associates of Minaj and Petty spent months last year harassing her to do so, going as far as to offer hundreds of thousands of dollars on their behalf. Honey, they offered her $20,000. First of all, bitch, that's going to be the first thing. Don't insult me. That's one. You're telling me you mega superstar and sat next to whoever, and you want to offer me $20,000 so that I won't keep telling my story about how your husband assaulted me when we were teenagers? And didn't he go to jail for murder? Okay. That's the man you went out and looked for. You went all the way back. So Nicki Minaj is telling us that the men that she has access to based on her wealth and influence, she decided that they weren't good enough. And so she went back to someone she knew growing up, who is an ex-con, who has to register as a sex offender and then produce a child with this person. Again, wasn't we just talking about the desperation of Kenya Moore and how she wound up in the relationship she's in? Weren't we just talking about? I feel like we was just talking about this shit. I really do. I need the sun, honey. We need it. I'm trying to get it, not all of it. I'm just trying to understand. And it's so sad. And it's like, you like Nicki Minaj. One, you weren't there. That's one. Number two, why are you putting yourself in a position that this man can use your resources to help silence a black woman? Like, that is beyond me. That is beyond me. And if there were any way to say, you know, I can't support somebody who is actively trying to silence someone who has survived your husband assaulting them. Like, girl, what? Are you serious right now? Like, are you serious right now? Is that what you're doing? That's what we're doing, Nicki, in 2021? And then you want to, I don't know. I feel, and then what's even more psychotic is that her fans excuse it. They're like, well, that's her man, and like using him like another group. Y'all, we really have to get out of using men as a way to insult women and the men be ain't shit. You cannot do that. You can't use Mark. You can't use Kenneth Petty. You can't use none of these niggas to insult a woman who does not have a man by saying, at least she got a man. Y'all got to get out of that. At least I got a man syndrome. That shit is over with. Especially if the niggas ain't worth shit. Now, somebody, yeah, I'm sorry to say it, but somebody like Serena Williams could be like, at least I got a man, bitch. That's the kind of man you want to brag about. Russell Wilson is the kind of man you want to brag about. And even then, don't brag too much, because the niggas is shifty as fuck. They shifty. They shifty. They sometimey, okay? You can't even do that. What's another one? Who Rodney always says, Prince Harry, another one. He's giving up all that stuff. That's the kind of nigga you throw in a bitch's face. Like, bitch, at least I got a man. Not a Mark. Not a Todd, not a Ralph, not a Adam, LaToya's husband, not a Mike Chill or whatever the fuck his name is. None of them, nobody. Not who was the other man? Michael Darby. Like, we could go through all the list of these women with these men. At least I got a man and this and that. Look at your men, though. Look at your man. Look at your man. Nicki Minaj. Jennifer moved 3 times in 2020 out of fear for her safety. The final time out of the state, separating her from her 22-year-old daughter. And since she's come forward, a section of the gossip blogosphere has also exploded as Minaj stans and even some estranged family members attempt to discredit her claims. Y'all cannot be so deep in your fandom that you excuse a black woman, Caribbean black woman, paying for the silence of someone that her husband assaulted. Because Nicki Minaj is really doing that, not for his image, that's for her image. Nobody, can you imagine, like, and there's nothing that you can say. I'm standing proud in my marriage. You can't even do that. Like, I'm so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. The same thing with T.I. and Tiny. People using their money and power to intimidate people and to silence them. That is where that's the reason why you have to take people's money. That's the reason why you say, oh no, you can't be on this next movie. We have to hit you in your pockets, because part of the power is that they have money and they can do things like harass people, go sit out in front of their house, offer them money, have some random person walk up to them and offer them money. You have access to do that. These regular ass people that say, you need to leave the neighborhood and this and that. These people have the money to do that. They have the access and the wealth to be able to exert power over people and use it to intimidate them, to scare them, to get them to leave the state. You cannot love Nicki Minaj's song so much that you will excuse damn near criminal behavior. Like, come on. Like, no, seriously, come the fuck on. Like, that shit is not funny. It's not funny. It's not cute. And any person getting in my comment section about Nicki Minaj, fuck Nicki Minaj and the decisions that she's making right now. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You can be mad all you want to. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me. But the fact is that Nicki Minaj is married to and has a baby with a registered sex offender who is trying to silence a black woman, or biracial woman in this case, trying to silence a woman from telling her story because she wants to protect her husband and her image. So I don't give a fuck. That's the facts. Those are the facts. So whenever you come in here, oh, she's a top 10 Grammy Award winning, whatever the fuck you want to say, I don't give a fuck. That don't have nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with nothing. Jennifer also says she's been in contact with the U.S. Marshals who recently told her that an investigation of the Pettys is underway and that they found evidence. A source familiar with the conversation confirmed this and said that the authorities called the investigation a high priority case. I'm hoping for the truth to come out and whatever comes from that truth to let it be, Jennifer said. For a while, she tried to avoid implicating other people, but now, after everything has happened, it's like these people were willing to sacrifice me so this guy can remain in the public eye, she said. I feel like my family was willing to sacrifice me. Yeah, her own family. Her own family. Saying, girl, just take the money. They're offering you $20,000. First of all, how insulting is that? Bitch, if you, Nicki Minaj, all these record charting and all this shit and all this wealth, if you want to pay somebody to be silent, you're not even coming with $500,000. This bitch said $20,000. $20,000, bitch. I can't even buy me a fucking Chevy truck for $20,000. What the fuck? Girl, no. Are you crazy? For who? And for what? What are you doing? How are you doing that? As soon as Nicki Minaj married that man, her social credit score plummeted. And I don't think there's going to be anything that she can do to bring it back, especially after all of this. What do you guys think about this? How do you feel about a woman trying to help her husband by using her own resources? Because, you know, he don't have no money. So the money that's being used to pay these people off or to try to buy this girl's silence, that's Nicki Minaj's money. So not only are you married to a registered sex offender, been to jail for murder. Hasn't he been to jail for murder? I'm willing to go out on that limb and say that. Now you trying to silence this woman. You offering her some insults. And it's an insult. The fact that when I saw it said $20,000, I said, wait a minute. How that? How that? Oh, Nika, you really want to offer somebody $20,000 for their silence, girl? That girl said, no, fuck that. Gave him $20,000 to try to silence him or her. Her family tried to silence her. When it happened, you know what they do? Don't say anything, all that stuff. It's awful. It says Petty was convicted in 1995 on one count of attempted R and in the first degree, assault in the second degree, unlawful imprisonment in the second degree, and criminal possession of a weapon. And not only that, at 16 years old, what are you doing holding a knife to a person's back, leading them into a room, and then assaulting them? Like, where's your brain at that age to be like doing that? Like, to even think that that's what you need to do is exert power over another person. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Y'all tell me what you think about this. I couldn't believe it when I said 20,000. Okay, now it says, now they offering, here it is, instead of Jennifer and her brother, with whom she was not particularly close, called within days of the conversation with Minaj to tell her that a man named Jamie from New York had called their cousin in North Carolina offering $500,000 if Jennifer spoke to a lawyer representing Petty. Then she got on the phone with Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is telling her, oh, I heard you're willing to help us out. Bitch, how you gonna help me? What? This is crazy. And her own family. Right. Jennifer said he offered her, somebody in her family. She said the harassment didn't stop. After Jennifer turned away the lawyers, Barry allegedly tried a different approach. Parked in a car outside her house. That's intimidation. Okay, and harassment. All right. Jennifer said he offered her $20,000 in cash if she agreed to sign a letter he typed that stated she lied about her assault. Barry allegedly told her he'd recoup the money on the back end. So in other words, I'll give you the money, Nicki Minaj is going to pay me back. I cannot believe that you are really risking your social status, your reputation over this person. Like, I just don't understand the mental illness behind it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it's like, and then it's like her fans, that's the sick part of it. That's the psychotic part of it, is that her fans really go after people who are trying to speak about this violence. It's a mess. It is a freaking mess. All right, so let's talk about Tiny and T.I. Let's see what time it is. Okay. It's really sad. This came out a day ago from The Guardian. I'm sorry, not a day ago. That was on March. Here, let me go back. That was on March 1st. What are we on? March 4th? There's a timeline on Yahoo, a full timeline of the horrifying accusations against T.I. and Tiny. Basically, what we have here is that the lawyer representing the victims has come out. He did like a Zoom call or something like that. 11 people have come out so far. And it's not just in one area. They're actually all over the country. So they're asking for information out of California, of course, out of Georgia. And I think there was another state that was mentioned. Of course, they're denying the allegations, right? Because you're either going to deny them or you're going to try to pay somebody off to take it back, right? Because nobody, I don't know, ever in history, maybe you guys can put it in the comments and show me where someone in history has actually said, the crimes that I have been accused of, I did it. Show me where a man or a woman is going to come out and be like, I did that shit. I raped this person. I sexually assaulted this person. I did that. Yeah, I did it. I did everything the people are saying that I did. I did that. Nobody's going to say that. That's why they do it and force people to do it and intimidate people, because they know what they're doing is not right. So they pay for your silence. They try to pay you for your silence. They try to intimidate you to keep you silent because they know what they're doing is wrong. Otherwise, wouldn't be no payoff. Wouldn't be no intimidation. It would have been consensual. And someone like T.I., and based on his stature, you know, the president of the Lollipop Guild, yeah. So he's probably a person who likes to exert their power over people, because in real life, there's so many other men towering over him. So he has to exert power over women so he can feel tall. And then his wife being mean to the girls and ordering them around. Why? Because you're angry. Deep inside, you're angry that you have to live this life in order to keep this man. You got to do all this bullshit, right, with these women so you can keep your man. You know the girls who go out and have threesomes for their men and their men still leave them, right? That type of insecure, having a low self-worth, that type of woman. And it's so crazy because it's like the pressure and the importance that we put on partnering with these men, that you'll do all of these things just to have this person of low character by your side. You will do anything. You will pay people. You will drug people. You will assault people. You will do anything to keep this man by your side. And then use the same man to insult other women by telling them, you don't have a man and I got one. Girl, y'all gonna have to do better than that. You're gonna have to do better than that. Blackburn, this is the lawyer. Her name is Blackburn. They was trying to make fun of the guy and say how he looked. Tyrone Blackburn is encouraging state and federal prosecutors to start a criminal investigation against the Harrises on behalf of 11 accusers. CBS reports 8 women allege assault from T.I., his wife, and their associates. 3 other accusers include a young man that was 8 years old, his mother, as well as Peterson, who filed a defamation lawsuit against the couple. Blackburn claims the misconduct happened over 10 years. He also claims the couple's lawyer, Steve Sato, reached out to him allegedly on behalf of T.I. and Tiny to make a deal. During a press interview, Blackburn said, Steve Sato reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny, and I told Steve my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crimes they have committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not work, then I would prefer the investigators to do that work and bring criminal charges against T.I. and Tiny for what they've done throughout the years. Let me tell you something. I believe it. I believe it. And we already know, and I don't have to put it down here, out of rape cases, less than 10% are false allegations or false stories. Less than 10%. So I'm tired of getting on these, looking at people, watching people talk about this and like, well, we gotta see justice and this and that. I always believe the victim. I'm gonna believe the victim. Prove the victim wrong. That's what you gotta do for me. Prove the victim wrong. If you say the victim is lying, prove that they lying, because I believe the victim. So until you prove the victim is lying, I believe them. I don't believe that T.I. and Tiny are of high character, honey, at all. Not at all. I don't believe it. I don't believe they are of high integrity either. I don't believe it. Not at all. The character is a little shifty. That's how I feel about it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about all of this? This is a mess. It's really a mess. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I'm done talking about it. I don't know what else to say. All I know is if you a Nicki Minaj fan and you want to get down in the comments and start talking shit, your girl is fucked up. Your girl is fucked up. She's making some fucked up decisions at this chapter in her life. She needs to get her shit together. Y'all need to write her a letter and tell her, girl, drop that man. Like, literally. Like, what are you doing? Like, would y'all do that? Like, and like, he was convicted. And my thing is, you weren't even there. Like, stop saying that somebody didn't do something. When somebody comes out and says somebody did something to them, believe them. Just believe them. And then if it comes out that they were lying, then they were lying. But I'm believing them. Because the statistics show and the numbers show it's a very, very small percentage of people who lie about being assaulted, who lie and come out and tell everybody. It's a very, very small percentage of that. And now after you're going to come out and tell everybody, you're going to get their fans coming after you. You're going to get their associates coming after you. You saw what Shekinah did for Tip and T.I. I mean, Tiny and Tip, whatever their names is. You saw what Shekinah did. I'm sure they're going to use her damn testimony that she went down. She was so quick to go down there and protect somebody that she even in her rambling, she said, I don't know what they do, but why are you down here? Why are you down here speaking up for them? Why are you down here? And you so ignorant that you use the word recruit. She used to recruit the girls like you doing something. I would be like, pull that shit off of the internet so we could use that. Go find that video of Shekinah. Because she helped us a little bit. Yeah. Anyways, y'all let me know what you think of T.I. and Tiny and Nicki Minaj and her husband and what they're trying to do to silence these victims. The article is in the Daily Beast. It's very thorough. It's very clear. Whoever... the woman's name who wrote the article. Here, let me get it. Go up here. Laura Bradley, entertainment reporter. Nicki Minaj is going out like a sucker. Anyways, take care of each other and protect your energy. Peace.